And now it's Deborah Kobylt Live.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in today to Deborah Kobylt Live. Wow, do I have a special guest for you? Kimberly Meredith, author of Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. Also, you are a medical healer and way more. Introducing you is tough because you do an awful lot, Kimberly, and we're going to get into the many gifts that you do have. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, Deborah.
Yeah. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what is medical healing? What do you do and how do you do that with folks? If you could break it down.
Okay. Well, I'm a medical intuitive, which is someone that can go throughout your body, physical body, emotional body, and connect everything, which means like, so say you have a thyroid condition or a intestinal tract condition and figure out how it happened to you, why it's going on. And so it's not just the thyroid, maybe it came from something that you emotionally were connected to. And so that's what happens. I go through your whole entire system and figure out where it came from, why it's going on, and how I can help you heal it. I'm also a healer.
How do you do that? Because I want to explain to our audience. I mean, just about anyone out there has something that they're maybe struggling from, suffering from, and maybe they're not getting any answers from doctors, right? So let's say they come to you and say, I need help. What do you do?
Yeah, so everybody's different with their gifts.
Right.
So everyone's different being a medium or a medical medium. And how I do it is my own process. Um, I can only explain it very simply. I have my own gifts, which is I blink through my eye blinking and get messages through spirit. So I just, someone coming to an office visit or someone doing a Skype, I just go and hear messages through my guides and scan them with my hands and eyes. And sometimes I don't even need my hands and eyes anymore. I just hear messages.
Okay. For anyone who's going to be listening or watching this interview and saying, oh, come on, you have been studied by some of the top medical facilities in the world. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Because your gifts are truly spot on. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I've been studied at the Nordic Science Institute, SciTech Institute, and by Dr. Norm C. Shealy. So I've been studied at all those institutes. And so with those institutions and doing this for over 4 to 5 years now, and I just do what I do. I mean, I've been studied with various patients and clients, and I go through people's bodies and find everything in them. And not only do I know what's in their bodies, they're tested afterwards, and I do healing on them also and give them nutritional plans. And um, it's also going into a higher dimensional frequency. That's why my book is called Awakening to the Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
Going into a different dimensional frequency, which is God. And then after people are healed, they are what the book's called A New Revolutionary Way of Healing. I was actually healed myself. I had a near death experience in 2013. And in 2013, that's when my gifts were fully awakened. So after people are healed, and they've proven this through many research studies with me,
Mm.
you have to not just go back to your normal way of living, you have to do many different types of lifestyle changes. So it's like if you're healed of cancer and immune suppressed condition, um, through understanding, uh, you don't go back to drinking tap water. You don't go back to drinking out of plastic containers. You have to make lifestyle changes.
Right. You talk a lot about water in your book. Can you tell us about that? Yeah.
Well, I think all of us right now know that we can't really drink out of our faucets anymore. We can't drink out of plastic containers. It's fossil fuel. We have to make sure that we're getting the best water that we can get, which I feel like you really need to research out there. It's not just my guides talking about it. It's a lot of people talking about right now that we want to make sure we have a filter on our sink, because we don't want fluoride and we don't want pesticides. We don't want MRSA in our water, and we don't want to shower in water that we're breathing in bad steam for our lungs. So we want to make sure that we get good filters on our showers even. And there's a lot of information out there that kind of confuses some of us sometimes about do this and do that and do that. So I wanted to make sure I had a good chapter about how water can save your life. And also, people often are drinking a lot of things like so many different types of water out there. But the most important thing that my guys are saying, that we need more minerals in our water. We need more hydration in our body. So a lot of times people don't drink mineral water. And a lot of people still think that there's BPA that's free, and there's no BPA that's free.
Very interesting. Wow, I didn't quite realize that. Is there a type of water that you recommend?
Well, I personally love Mountain Valley spring water, but I feel that if you can't afford that, there's many types of different types of water out there that you can get minerals in it, but just definitely have to have water that's in glass containers are still great.
You know, when I was interviewing you, you told me that you had gone through quite a bit of trauma in your early years in your life. And then you got teary-eyed. You said you really just want to help people. And it was very genuine, and it really, really touched me. Could you tell me a little bit about what you've been through, what you were referring to our audience, please?
Well, when I came into the world, I knew at a really young age that I wasn't accepted, because I was just different. I always knew I was different from a young age. I was bullied. I was blinking, and I was told, you're dyslexic. I was dyslexic. Kids didn't like, a lot of kids made fun of me, and including my mother, and didn't know kind of what's going on. I saw, images, orbs, ghosts, things like that, that to me now are my, spirits and things. And I did things that were unusual that my grandmother loved. I was a healer as a little kid. I was healing and doing healings on animals, and she had a chronic asthma, and I didn't know, as a young child, I was healing her lungs. Later on, I found out. So things that were not good about me are now good about me, because I had my NDE, which brought back my eye blinking, and now I'm able to detect cancer in people before they know it. And then the doctors say, that girl that's blinking just found out you have 4-stage breast cancer.
Wow. But again, for those people who are saying, it's impossible, what do you say to them? I mean, it's in the book. Once you start reading, there you go. There you go. It's right in here. Go ahead.
I've been tested so much, and so many people have come to me. I say that if you have something, like you're a singer or you're an artist or something like that, my gifts came from God. I was born with them. And so I say, nothing is impossible with the Holy Spirit, and my gifts are from the gods. I had them yeah.
When you say Holy Spirit, you're not saying in a religious sense, right? What are you saying?
No, the Holy Spirit is like what Jesus said when he was here. He wasn't a religion. He just said, we're to love everyone. We are love to our brothers and sisters. And that is pure love.
Talk to me about your near-death experience. What happened in 2013, please?
It's interesting. I was hit by a car, and then I didn't, want to go to the hospital, because I was really excited about a job I had at the time. So I kept not listening to, I talk about it in the book. Yeah. I was not listening to getting care that I needed until I collapsed. And then I had to go to the hospital, and I was losing oxygen to my organs and kidneys and things. And I coded, and I shouldn't be here right now. I'm lucky every day. I thank God that I'm here to help people, and that's my mission. But it was very intense, and I got to see a lot on the other side. And I still am here working from the other side to help people. And I'm so grateful that I'm here.
Wow. Tell us what you saw. Let's tease this a little bit so that people make sure that they get the book and read more about it.
Well, I saw, I saw a lot then, and I still see now, but I experienced Christ and the Holy Spirit then. It was a tremendous experience going through my body, the light through my eyes, enough where the God, Spirit, and Jesus brought my thinking back. So profound, and lifted me off of my body, and the chills going through my legs, and yes,
Wow.
and the pressure of my chest and everything. Yeah, it's very profound.
Wow. Do you feel like you still have a relationship with those that healed you when you sort of ended up on the other side? Do you feel that every day, every moment?
I do. I do.
Wow.
A very,
Describe that for those of us who just can't imagine what that feels like, please.
the relationship between me and the Holy Spirit is so intimate and profound. It's almost very it's very, I wouldn't say hard being here in the 3D world, but it was the mission for me to write this book so people could
Yeah.
have more of a relationship, to go to understand that we are here right now experiencing the awakening and the ascension right now.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. When I read the book, I really got where you were coming from. Let's talk about some of the medical. Try and get to a page. If there's one in particular that you would like to discuss, the stories of some of your healings, would you?
Okay.
I footnoted it, but I'm going to have you start.
Okay, which one would you like to talk about?
Well, let me see. My notes are a little messy, but just hang on a minute. Hang on. You can see, look at my notes. I've got them all over here. There's a lot of them. There is, for example, there's Marissa. There is Robin and Joan and Cindy. And gosh, they all had actually an impact on me when I read them. So go ahead, pick one or two and you go right ahead with that. I mean, I was sort of aghast, honestly, Kimberly, when I read that, because it was miraculous. So
Yeah.
take any one or
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. There's even one that's not in the book called Terry Brown. She's still alive right now, and that one is one that I did up in Sedona. That was really something else. That was one of the first ones that I started to do. Then there's another one that's not in the book. That's a first cancer client that I ever knew that I could find cancer in, where when I first started finding cancer in people, I would get hot flashes. And then there's COVID right now, which I get different energy off COVID. So if I come on a Skype, I know if someone has COVID right away through different feelings I get in my body. But the one I did in Sedona, I could talk about. I had a promoter found out about me and said, you wanted to do an event in Sedona, and I said okay. And I go. This is when there are large group events. A couple of them in the book, I talk about doing Skypes where I knew the woman had breast cancer right away through a Skype.
Right.
And my eyes will start blinking, and I'll know if somebody has something. And that was one you're talking about, and in the book. And then that one we're referring to. I won't tell the person they have cancer, but I will say, I get something is going on with your breast and you need to get it checked out. And then she went and got it checked out. And then sure enough, it was cancer, but we got it right away. And she was able to have an operation and get it. So there's a lot like that. But this one event I did in Sedona, I went out into the room and I said it out loud. And it's on my YouTube channel. The gentleman is talking about it still. And I said, before I go out, I'm in trance always. And I'm pretty much always in trance. But before I do an event, I go very deep in trance. And I said in the room, I said, I'm going to go out in the room right now and I'm going to pick the sickest person to lay hands on and do a healing. And I walked out out on stage, and there was hundreds of people. And I just remember in this sort of kind of like energy field, and I walked right up to his wife, and her name was Terry Brown. And I pulled her up on stage. I'm getting chills right now. And I started going across her body, and she had lymphoma, breast cancer, and all of this going on in her. And I started going through her body, and the guides just come through me, and I feel the Virgin Mary. And I started doing the healing on her body, and she opened up her arms. It was just unbelievable. And they just kept using me, and I kept doing the healing on her and everything. And her husband was a big follower of Mary Baker Eddy and also Edgar Cayce. And I didn't know any of that. And anything, never knew him, nothing. And the whole audience was screaming, Hail Marys, Our Fathers, just everything. And then I was supposed to stay there for a week and book 2 more sessions with me. After I went home, they got a hold of me and they said her whole blood work, everything shifted. And she was starting to turn all of her numbers to becoming completely healed. I found out later he wrote the book of the reincarnation of Edgar Cayce. That just blew my mind. I didn't know anything about them. And she was just, all of her numbers are turning. If you were to see the picture of her then and now, and she is still living, you would fall over right now.
I'm going to look it up. I mean, I want her name. I'm going to look it up. You don't have to tell me here, but I am, because I'm a little flabbergasted, even just hearing you tell this story.
She's in her 70s and she's still alive. Yeah. But there's many stories like this. Many.
No, all people have to do, you're right, is go on the YouTube, pick up the book. Now I'm going to sort of, if it's okay, I'm always curious a little bit, but you are in a whole different level. If you were to read me, what you're picking up from me, are you able to do that a little bit during our show, perhaps? I know we talked about that a little bit, if you're able to, because I know you said you're always in a trance, and I actually get that. I even understood that when we spoke on the phone. I could see that you sort of go about your time in sort of almost a different dimension, just like you say, awakening to the 5th dimension. Are you able to do that with me now? Can you pick up anything?
Yeah, I mean, the guides are saying some things about you right now. I'm always reading, I'm always just, yeah, I would have to pin you to read you because it keeps going back at me. So we'd have to go back at you.
Is there anything you can reveal that you're picking up?
If you stay up, it goes, the camera goes back on me. So I want to keep it back on you. Maybe I can pin you. Let me see if I can pin you. If it lets me pin you. It did. It let me pin you. Okay. So, yeah, I can do a quick read on you. The guys are telling me they're kind of, I mean, I could do a health reading on you, but there are also some other guides are coming in and talking about something that went on with you a while back. But they're doing a little bit of a health reading on you, unless you want to ask me a question.
No, I'm going to have you just take it. I mean, I'll go the full gamut wherever you want to go. Any health, mental health, emotional health, physical health. I'll take it all, Kimberly.
They keep telling me about something that went on about 12 years ago with you. That when I first came on, they kept saying something about a shift that went on in your life about 12 years ago. And they're also going about something in the back of your neck and around your jaw, health-wise. And they keep saying to me, Yep, they keep wanting to go back 11, 12 years ago, and they keep saying something about around the back of your neck and then about your shoulder. They don't like something going on around your shoulder and the back of your neck for some reason. And then they kind of keep going, I don't, let's put your arms out for a second. They keep saying something about, I don't know why, they keep wanting to tell me something about on the left side of you and then around your jaw. I don't know, maybe it's just something with your jaw, your tooth. But they keep going around your eyes also. Something like sinuses, eyes, and neck. And then, yeah, I don't know. Just keep going around like that. And then, have you ever, you can say confirm or no.
I'm sorry?
You can say confirm with any of that stuff or no.
A little bit, actually. Yes, a little bit, I will tell you. Yeah, especially the timeline.
What about something on the left side? Did you ever have any issues with your shoulder or eyes on the left side of you?
No, but I've had so many things happening. You know, I was an athlete earlier in my life. I mean, who knows what happened? My eyes, not particularly.
What about your shoulder? Because they keep wanting to go around your shoulders and your neck.
You know, maybe you're reading something that hasn't happened yet, or that's happening and I don't even know it. So,
And your low back.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's something that you're so well now known for doing. You will pick something up in someone before they even know it's happening.
Did you ever hurt your leg or your ankle?
Many times, absolutely, yeah.
Well, you have to confirm as we're going along so they can keep reading you.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. So was it your left side or your right?
Both.
Okay.
Particularly the left side. So you're absolutely spot on.
They're wanting to go on your left, more your left. They're also wanting to go on your left breast, your left lung, your left. They keep on your shoulder over to your left. They're like really annoyed. The guys are saying, tell her about the left. Tell her about the left, Kimberly. There's not enough oxygen going to the left side of her. Tell her that. They're also annoyed with your teeth, your toothpaste. There's something with your teeth going on, or your jaw.
That's interesting. That's actually, no, I got to tell you, that's a little spot on too. Wow, I may be having dental surgery.
Yeah, they're just like, they keep going left, Kimberly. Tell her left. I mean, they're being nosy. Like they're just like left, jaw, left, and like they're going right over there by you.
Wow. And that's just something that you've done just from reading me for a moment. And my, quite frankly, putting you on the spot to do something, really not giving you adequate time to really feel what's going on with me, you know?
And they're telling me this is something that's been going on. So do you want to tell me what's happening with the jaw? And because they're just like really annoyed about it. And they're telling me it's happened for over many years. It could have been some kind of exposure to something.
No, just that I had an accident a while ago and a tooth came flying out, and now I need a little bit of dental surgery because of it. And that's about as far as we got. And there may have been an infection because of it, but that's about as far as we got, and we're investigating what else they need to do. So it's kind of interesting you picked up on that. It really is. As for my toothpaste, I got to figure that one out. I kind of liked my toothpaste. I'm being silly.
Not if they don't have fluoride in it. If it doesn't have fluoride, you're okay.
Wow.
But they don't want you to have fluoride in your toothpaste. But they are saying there was some kind of trauma in here. They went right there. That was the first thing over to the left. And then somehow this energy, not the feminine energy here, they want more flowing energy to the left side of you.
I don't know. I'm going to investigate that because I think you're onto something. That's really all I can. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The next thing they're going into is I could keep going on and on with this session. They're going into your uterus area, possibly maybe one time you had a fibroid or a cyst. they're going into something like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but they don't like something with the uterus, maybe feminine area at one point. They're also going on. They're saying about the leg and the knee at one point. A lot of it on the left side, though, is the area that they don't like.
I'm going to investigate that because I'm actually going to see a doctor specifically in a couple weeks. I could tell you about it when we're not on camera because I didn't want to go that deep. But that's interesting how you've picked up on this. And what's also interesting is how I think you do this before somebody knows about it, which I think is pretty extraordinary. What do you want people to know about you, about your journey in life as a young person, also since your near-death experience, and about your book and everything you do? Because I really want to implore people to pick this up.
I like people,
awakening.
Yeah, cool. No, I like people to know more about what we're doing now as far as moving forward. So moving forward is mostly important. It's about me helping people open up to their intuitive gifts, open up to their awakening, open up to that they can have a better life right now. Like I'm so honored that we're on the show today, that we can, if you get the book, there's 3 parts of the book, I feel. The first part is, who is Kimberly? How'd she get her gifts? The second part is, what is the third dimension? The third dimension is worry and fear, stuck in this dense energy. And then moving into the 5th dimension, which is learning how to be more trusting, more living in this world where we can tap into our gifts, that we can have a more fruitful life of organic lifestyle, and also learning how to meditate and have a fulfilling type of meditation. It doesn't have to be hours long. It can be 5-minute, 10-minute meditation. And I have all kinds of recipes in here for people, and techniques, and also activations and affirmations, which I feel it's very powerful how we talk to each other, how we honor people. And then also all the miracle studies and how we can heal ourselves. I had a girl the other day that had such bad news in every way about having a child, even people are, oh, you're too old, you can't get pregnant, and it's like, she can have a child. Nobody should be able to tell anybody that you can't do something, or people that are even having COVID right now, they can get better. You can get better faster, you can heal faster in the 5th dimension way of thinking. Yeah.
Gosh, I really appreciate it. And also everything we're going through on this planet. We talked a little bit about that too, right? About
absolutely.
Yeah, talk to me about that, if you will. Just in terms of, our planet is shifting. We talked about that, about how just the way we take care of our planet, how we take advantage of our planet, and it's not going to be there forever for us to take advantage of. Like we're in a shifting moment. You talk about that as well in your book, right?
You're exactly correct. Yes. We are, we're in a climate crisis right now. We have been. So that's part of the book also.
But people, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel that people need to tap into that. I feel like we're sort of on this, even with COVID, when people slow down, we're ramping up again. We're back on that treadmill and we're just going, but not necessarily thinking about what we're doing, what we're contributing, and what we're leaving behind. So to your point in the book, meditate, think about it, take a moment. And I got a lot out of that from your book because it all is connected, right?
It is. It's like you can take all the vitamins, that you want, but you have to look at what kind of vitamin you're taking first. And then you need to make sure that you're drinking the right kind of water, eating the right kinds of food. And yet also we have to look at the universe and our planet as a whole also. And people will often say, well, I'm eating right, I have the best clean diet. But once I get down to what they're really eating and how they're living, we're actually not really eating that healthy, and we're not really taking care of our planet. And we are eating tons of fish, which has got mercury and iodine in it. And then people are over stressed, so they're racing our cortisol, our hormones are out of whack, and then you're taking in a bunch of plastic into our bodies. So the whole global crisis is actually, our bodies are being affected also by the crisis. So the book is Awakening to the Fifth Dimension is really awakening to our whole spiritual system. And boosting our immune system is boosting our spirituality too. So I really was trying to write the book, channel the book from the guide, saying it's a whole spiritual boosting of our spirituality and our universal spirituality too. So I hope people understand that it's calling in the spirit to heal us also, and have more faith in ourselves and in the omnipresent, and not just say, oh, let's give ourselves all over to the medical community, but also bring in some holistic health and also bring in the Holy Spirit too.
Yeah, Kimberly Meredith, you are fascinating to me and to so many people that I know that you have healed and who read about you, who follow you. So thank you so much for being on our show. Please, everybody, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, available, I guess, on your website, right? Amazon and anywhere else. It's a stunning read. It's an easy read. It's a great read. I would read it and put it down. It's the kind of book that I like to come back to and then reference again. So thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I think you are outstanding. So thanks.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really enjoyed being on your show. You're a beautiful person. Thank you.
And same to you. I appreciate that. And please watch our show, listen to our show with Kimberly Meredith on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on just about every audio podcast platform that you can find. Deborah Kobylt Live, Kimberly Meredith, and Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.